I cannot believe that I signed up to do this. So hello everybody, welcome to another episode. Here we are trying to test out one very important question. See, in the new Nether update, there's been another Nether ore added, the Nether gold ore, as you can see here. There's actually a few other. There's one called the Gilded Blackstone. Doesn't do any, it's not relevant for this, and for ancient debris it's also not relevant. The question we're asking here today is a simple one that's been asked many times, I've seen on Twitter. Is it better to Silk Touch, or is it better for Fortune 3? Here's our control. The question being the fact that if you mine one of these, it drops something between 2 to 6 gold nuggets, right? Which is an amount, right? But if you smelt one of these, it gives you a full ingot, right? Which is 9 nuggets. Better. But Fortune 3 has a percentile chance. A Fortune 3 gives you a 20% chance of getting 2, 3, or 4 times multiplier randomly between those 3, which lands you somewhere between 2 to 24 nuggets, but with a chance. So the question is, in the aggregate, overall, is it better to do Fortune 3, or is it better to do Silk Touch? And then we'll have the normal to show you the control. We'll set it up here, purple for the gold, and then blue for the quartz. We're just going to real quick time-lapse this, because I set up 250 blocks for each direction, and we'll see how much that gives. I've got efficiency 5 on all of these, just because I don't want to sit here all day. Okay, putting fortune back. And we're actually going to be... I actually shot the other 2 already. I'm just going to do the control first, because that makes the most sense on where to put the control. So let's just get this out right. These netherite picks have a crazy... I gave myself haste, by the way. These netherite picks have a crazy amount of durability. Goodness gracious. It's hard to imagine ever using one of these things up. I can already do the math for this one, but I'll just include a little time lapse here anyway, because why not? Let's start with the Silk Touch. Is it wrong that it just occurred to me right now that silk touching 250 blocks would obviously give me 250 blocks? Go ahead and throw this in the silk touch bucket. Here we go for Fortune 3. Wait, does that? Yeah, it does. Interesting. And while that's cooking, the quartz actually has a pretty interesting answer. I already know this offhand, but you guys will probably be a little bit surprised to see what how quartz ends up working. Actually, if anything, I should be glad that I only did 250. I was gonna do 500, but then it wouldn't load that far out, so I couldn't. Silk Touch. I should have thrown in like a creeper generator in here just to keep myself entertained. Now we wait. An exceptionally long time. Okay, just gonna split these in half before I drive myself crazy. I just added on another chest, which should theoretically... This is another blast furnace. As you can see, they just flow into each other, so it should just be a little faster this way. Goodness gracious. Even at blast furnace speeds, it's still gonna take forever. Alright, I'm just gonna load up some Yang Speaks.
The US was the first country to experiment with these kind of radical prisons that they now have in Norway, right? It's not...
There we go. Okay, so this is finished. So let's look at the gold ore. This is the normal. Here's our control for 250 blocks. 250 blocks mined with a normal pickaxe. This is how much we got. A little less than 2 stacks. About a little less than 2 stacks. So about a stack and 3/4, just about. Here's what we got with the Silk Touch. These look like they're on, but they're out. Here's what we got with Silk Touch. Nearly 4 stacks. Oh, that's close. And with Fortune, a little less than that. Nearly 4 stacks. Wow. I was expecting those to be a little bit less close, but that, I guess, maybe the aggregate, maybe this needs to go out more than the 250, but it looks like Silk Touch is the better option. But there is one caveat. Silk Touch does require, of course, that you bring it back and you smelt it. But there is the nice thing about each block only equals 1 block, as opposed to here each block can equal multiple items that you have to craft together. So I guess Silk Touch won ever so slightly. That's by a neck right there. Wow. These are still going, so we're going to let them go for a minute longer. Wow, the quartz is still smelting. I'm going to go check out this place over here. Hello? I'll tell you what, this like basalt delta ash thing I turned on really gives a very particular vibe to this kind of like house. I like that it kind of spawns in areas too. Man, it really makes it like I feel like if this was maybe all path block or something, or maybe coarse dirt or something, I would feel like I had spawned in like one of those old nuclear apocalypse maps. This is interesting. Let's go see if that's done. Okay, so close. Come on. And they're done. Okay, here we go. Now I understand now I hope this really demonstrates the purpose of a super smelter. Yeah, it's done. Okay, so here's the control for the Nether quartz. Almost 4 stacks. And you're about to learn something interesting. So the control, the normal pickaxe was 4 stacks, but Silk Touch, it's exactly the same. Because the interesting thing about Silk Touch, when you smelt Nether quartz with Silk Touch, it just gives you the same. That's the same reason that I didn't do this for the Ancient Debris, because the Ancient Debris doesn't increase anything. Because the Ancient Debris just gives you the block no matter what. You have to smelt it both times. So we can already guess that the fortune is going to be higher. How much better is the fortune going to be for the quartz? Yeah, it's more than double. More than double. So we have an interesting little toss-up. On this side, the Silk Touch beat out the Fortune 3, remember that. Fortune 3 by just a hair. That's so close. But over here, Silk Touch was annihilated by Fortune 3. So perhaps this might give you a reason to carry both Silk Touch for the gold and Fortune for the quartz. But really, I think this is really just saying that since these two, they're so close, it's almost negligible. Really, the thing you ought to be carrying is a Fortune 3. Silk Touch just is still not a utility here. There's an argument to be made. Maybe if Silk Touch was just a wee bit better here, but I think really that you only have to go with a Fortune. But this is Fortune 3. Crunching the numbers here, this Fortune 2 and Fortune 1 are nowhere near as efficient as Silk Touch. if you don't have Fortune 3, then it is a bit of an argument there. But Fortune just annihilates Silk Touch because Silk Touch is a 1-to-1 ratio for Quartz. So it's up to you. Yeah, I think the real winner here is Fortune 3 because they win so hard in the Quartz category, even though it was slightly beaten by the gold. But only if you have Fortune 3. Lesser fortunes, if you have Fortune 2 or Fortune 1, there might be an argument to carry around a Silk Touch just for the gold ore. And that is it. I tried to make this one a little bit quicker. It's not super quick, but I tried to make it as quick as possible. So thank you again for joining us as always. I've been Renegade. Please check out the other videos if this and other content interest you. I like to do little tutorials and stuff like this. And I'm also doing several series. Right now I'm running a hardcore series on my Twitch channel in the description. And I play other stuff too. I was playing XCOM the other day and I'm considering recording stuff like that. I'll have a few scary games and also some dating novels with a few friends that have expressed interest in coming on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here. This is Renegade, signing off. Bye!